Hello everyone. This is the pre-market report video for 16th January 2023 in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, let's see what happened on the global market after the Indian market closed on Friday. Both S&P 500 and Dow Jones for the 4th straight session. Then in case of Nasdaq for the 6th straight session, it all closed positive. Regarding the reason, we can call it as there are a couple of weekly positive macros and a couple of Friday positive things. First, weekly positive macros. One, US inflation data release on Thursday. Then the two, return of normalization in Chinese economy. Last Thursday, US Bureau of Labor Statistics released the December month CPI data for both year-on-year basis and month-on-month basis. US consumer inflation. On year-on-year basis, it comes as 6.5%. And it was in line with expectations, but it was significantly less than that of the November month, which was 7.1%, which was nearly 3% less compared to its peak value on last June. So clearly, inflation is slowing very fast in US. Even in month-on-month basis, for the first time in last 31 months, it entered into the negative territory, which was the huge positive for the overall global sentiment. Then the second weekly positive news is return of normalization in China. Since one of the main reasons for the global inflation peaking last year, along with the conflict in Europe, was this China zero policy and its lockdown. As most of you know, whether we accept it or not, at present, China is the global factory, and when there was a lockdown for 3 continuous years, it created a less supply of whole products and also it caused a supply chain disruption. So suddenly last year there were less available product for the same demand, which pushed the product price. Now this normalization return to China will increase the product supply along with a less demand due to high interest rate will accelerate the inflation reduction. Thus, now I'm expecting US to reach their 2% inflation target at least by August 2023. These are the two weekly important positive momentums. Then coming to Friday things. Despite S&P 500 opens gap down of 0.5% on Friday, during their market hours, 4 important US banks released their quarterly results. As a summary, JP Morgan and Bank of America beats the analyst estimation, whereas Wells Fargo and Citigroup fell short marginally. But all the 4 banks' balance sheets are really very good and robust. This made all the 4 banks to rally over 1.5 to 3% positive. Then the second positive on Friday was the strengthening of Japanese yen. From last October, Japanese yen strengthens over 15% against US dollar and over 3% in last 5 days. So now it increased the confidence among the investors that Bank of Japan won't raise their interest rate in the upcoming interest rate decision meet, which is due on coming Wednesday. All these made the US market to close positive. Dow Jones increased by 0.33%, S&P 500 increased by 0.4% and Nasdaq increased by 0.71%. In case of tech stocks, almost all increased around 1 to 3% except Tesla. Since on Friday, in order to increase their number of new vehicle orders, Tesla did the price cut by up to 20% in both US and Europe. Again, this didn't go well with the investors. Regarding 10-year bond yield and dollar index, there was not much change on Friday, but compared to week before, at present, both of them significantly reduced. 10-year bond yield at present is less than 3.5% and dollar index is less than 102. Before last week, last time dollar index was less than 102 was only during April 2022. Now, both of them are really positive. Regarding oil, again because of China normalization, compared to week before, both Brent crude oil and WTI crude oil increased over $80 per barrel, which is not good for India, but it is what it is. In terms of Indian ADRs, both banks closed positive of over 1%. Then about the IT, it's kind of mixed. Infosys closed positive, whereas Wipro closed negative. Coming to SGX Nifty, on Saturday morning it closed at 18,058, which is kind of indicating 40 to 50 points gap up opening today. So that's all about the global market. Now let's move on to the Indian market related info. First, on Friday and during weekend, there were a lot of companies released their Q3 earnings results, such as HDFC Bank, Wipro, Avenue Supermarket, L&T Finance and Just Dial. But in this video, I just like to highlight the results of HDFC Bank and Wipro. Anyway, as I mentioned in my week ahead video, HDFC Bank released the very good results which beats the analyst estimates, so that is clearly positive for HDFC Bank. Additionally, on Friday in the aftermarket hours, RBI released the bi-weekly loan growth and deposit growth. The loan growth comes as 14.5%. In general terms, this is a good number, but in last 2 months, we kind of used to be having the loan growth of over 17%. Now that reduced to 14.5%, which means there is an indication of slowdown in Indian economy. Thus, I won't call this as negative and nor as positive, rather than I call this as neutral. Anyway, but the results for HDFC Bank was positive, so at least I expect HDFC Bank to trade positive. Now to Wipro, their operating performance is good. I mean, there was an improvement in profit margin, which results in increase of quarter on quarter profit by 11%, but on the revenue side in terms of dollar it only increased by 0.2%, which is not good, and that's the reason even ADR closed negative. So far TCS and Wipro didn't beat the estimation, whereas Infosys and HCL did beat the estimation. Here TCS results was not bad, but analysts expected more, but Wipro clearly didn't grow as expected. Then the second news I like to highlight is regarding this new Russian fuel price cap. I mean, at present, as we all know that both G7 countries and whole Europe puts the price cap of 65 US dollars per barrel on the Russian crude oil export to their respective countries. Here, please note the earlier price cap was to crude oil export. Now, during the weekend, they put the new price for the products of oil that exports from Russia, which is direct diesel. Just for info, at present, whole Europe is importing over 6 lakhs barrels of diesel every day from Russia. Now, from February 5, they are going to put the price cap on all products that export using oil. This is very, very positive news for Reliance, since if Russia said that they won't give the fuel means, then all this new diesel fuel demand will turn to both Reliance and US companies. I don't know why Reliance was down last week of over 2.5%, but this new price cap is really positive for Reliance. Then the third news is about the auto sector. During weekend, Indian government allocated 2000 crore rupees for states to encourage their respective people by incentives and other schemes to scrap the vehicle which was over 15 years old. I consider this as very positive for the whole auto sector, since this will increase the new vehicle demand. And about the pharma, US FDA issued a written warning to Sun Pharma that their one of the manufacturing plant is not up to recommend regulatory standard. This is really very negative for that stock. As a summary, global momentum is very good. SX Nifty is indicating a gap up opening of 40 to 50 points. There were positive info regarding Reliance, HDFC Bank and auto sector. My only reservation is that at present at 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time, US future market opens marginally negative. Then regarding items to look out for today, I'll attach the week ahead video link in the description below. Now coming to technical, in daily chart, both Nifty and Bank Nifty forms a bullish candle. However, in weekly chart, it forms a doji pattern. This pattern indicates that there is a good tug of war between the bullish and bearish people. In last 1 month, Nifty repeatedly took supports at 17,800. So today, if Nifty moved decisively above 18,100, then we can call it as bottom reversal pattern, which means we can expect more upside in the near term. Then about the summary of moving averages, for Nifty at present it's trading below 10, 20 and 50-day moving averages, but it's above 500 and 200-day moving averages. So as a summary, it's neutral. Then in case of technical indicators, most of them turns to sell now. So it's a strong sell signal. Even RSI value for Nifty is dropped to 44. So it's also a marginal sell now. And it's all same for Bank Nifty. As a moving average summary, it's neutral. Then in case of technical indicator summary, it's a strong sell signal. However, RSI is neutral as the value is around 46.5. From option change in open interest, there was a huge number of new put options added at below 17,800 and the maximum nearby new put options added at 17,800 and followed by 17,900. Since 17,900 also got some new call option open interest, so 17,800 is the support to look out for. Then from overall options open interest data, 17,900, 18,000, 18,200 got the nearby maximum call option open interest, but the same 17,900 and 18,000 also got some put option open interest as well, and because of that 18,200 is the strong resistance to look out and even for this expiry. Then coming to Bank Nifty, based on change in open interest, the maximum new put options were added at 42,000 followed by 41,500. So 42,000 is the immediate support to look out for and 41,500 is the strong support. Then based on overall open interest data, the nearby maximum call option open interest is present at 42,500 and 43,000. Since 42,500 got small put options as well, and thus it's an immediate resistance to look out. If it breaks, then 43,000 is the strong resistance to break. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video, so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and will also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing it for my and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.